Okay, guys, we'll get started. Good evening. So, today's topic is on OOPS concept. Okay, so what does OOPS stands for? OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming. Give me one moment. Sorry, I got a call. Hmm. So, what is OOPS? H1. I'm audible? What is OOPS? Okay. H. So next week I'll take one session on HTML as well. Okay. Uh, okay. PPT, yes. Okay. So this is a topic. Okay. And these are modules and this one. Yeah, we'll start. It should be. Huh. Okay, that's fine. Should be here actually. Okay. So what is OOPS? Okay, OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming Concepts. Okay. It's a fundamental concepts in any programming language. You take Java, you take C, you take C Sharp, you take any programming language. Okay, concepts are same. Okay, so whatever the fundamental that you see, class, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstract, encapsulation, iterators, these are same everywhere. Okay, based on these concept you're going to build your solution. Okay, so when a developer writes anything, okay, he has to identify a class and objects. Okay, now we'll see all these things. These are all going to be concepts. Okay, so just pay attention, because when you going to start on your data journey or roadmap towards uh, what you want to learn, right? These are the basic concepts will be useful everywhere. Okay, everywhere. Okay, it's gonna be useful everywhere. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I was copying one image from the Google, it didn't copy properly. That's okay. So, uh, like I said, the object-oriented programming yeah, concept is a fundamental concept in Python. Okay, what it does is it empower developers to build. Okay, I'll just write it down while we speak. Okay, so I'm gonna write the list. What is OOPS? OOPS stands for object. Guys, also one thing I want to ask you is, see, I'm doing live, all this material I'm writing live. You guys like this way, or you want me to bring something ready-made before something like this and just go through it and close it? Tell me, okay? If you like this, I'm okay, fine. Okay, I like this one only. See, live, I want to do something. Okay, I don't want to keep some PPT, read that out, and then finish, close the class. No, object oriented prog, okay, concepts. So other one is, okay, it empowers developers to build modular. Okay, I'll explain all this. It's modular and then maintainable. Yesterday we saw, right, the yesterday's concept, right? So if you recall, uh, the concept that we learned yesterday, right? If you control statement, module and functions. Okay, what is the role of function? The reusability of code. Okay, and dividing large program into manageable chunks. Okay, same thing. Okay, it empowers developer to build modular. Okay, now what do you mean modular? Okay, chunks, small chunks. Instead of building one uh, solution, okay, one solution, what you'll do is you will break it into five modular blocks and then you will build. Say for example, 1 minute. First, I'll write it down. I'll give you some classic examples so that it will help you understand. I'll also give you the Flipkart and Amazon and Netflix examples. Okay, uh, modular, maintainable, maintainable, and scalable. What do you mean by scalable? Whenever you want to add some new features, it should allow you to scale. It should not be like everything you have to rewrite from A to Z. No, that is a wrong programming and concepts. Okay, scalable applications. Okay, another one is um, it's a way of organizing code. Organi- Organizing code. Okay, that uses class and objects. Okay, clear. Okay, so what is OOPS? OOPS is an object-oriented programming concept that empowers developer to build modular, okay, small chunks, okay, instead of big chunks, small chunks, okay, maintainable and scalable application. Okay, I'll show you one example. Mm, okay, okay. Now I'll just maximize this. This is a very good example. Okay, so I was looking for this image. Okay, I'll just close all these things. Okay, so for example, this one. Okay, now you see here. Okay, so we have two types of architecture. Okay, when we talk about architecture, what is it? Okay, now you ask me in civil engineering, we build apartment and flats and all, right? I gave you the example the other day. If we build everything in one block, okay, if you want to do any modification, okay, it will not allow you to do. Okay, that is something called monolithic. Okay, monolithic architecture. Okay, you see all processes are tightly coupled, run as a single service. This means that if one process of application experiences a spike in demand, the entire architecture must be scaled. So here, if you are building something in one block, you have to spend a lot of money for future enhancements. Okay. Now later on in 2010, okay, so there was a new architecture that was coined. Okay, that is called microservices. So what microservices does is, okay, each user stories are broken into small chunks. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, user. Okay, so if you see any site, first what you have to do is login, right? So that is one microservices. Okay, services, or you can say one chunk of code. Okay, or function. Okay, in actual Python language, if you can say login, you can write a function called define login. Okay, where you will validate user details. If the password is correct, allow him to log in, and then you will give him a new page which is called landing page of your Google or Amazon, right? So that's what they do it. And if this fails, the other threads that are there, okay, the what is that, the billing section is there, the catalog section is there, the search section is there, right? That will not get affected. So see, backend team, what they will do is they will immediately, whatever the code they have updated or applied, they can revert it back immediately to restore it to the previous version, or a last known working uh, last known working this is some terminologies there. Okay, last known working so, forgot that terminology. Okay, so you can restore, okay, immediately when it was working fine. Okay, so this is very important, guys. Okay, nowadays they will ask you the difference between monolith and microservice. Microservice is basically everything is uh, uh, clustered or broken into pieces, and you design your this thing. See, with microservices architecture, an application is built as independent component that run each application process as a service. Okay, these services communicate via a well-defined interface using a lightweight API. Okay, so if anything falls, if anything goes down, see other services that are running, it will not get affected. Even in Windows architecture, if you go and see here, okay, so these are all services and applications. Okay, if you see, these are all the services that are running right now in my computer. Okay, now if you see here, so each one is independent here. Okay, so it is not dependent, these two are not dependent on each other. Okay, so if this goes, the Bluetooth will stop, but Wi-Fi still, it will allow me to connect. Okay, Bluetooth support service, if there is a problem, if I stop it, okay, it will not connect, but what happens is it's still my Wi-Fi is working. Okay, so these are all the terminologies that they coined, okay, in the recent years only. Okay, earlier we used to have one monolithic architecture, everything was bundled into one. If anything goes, done, you're gone. Okay, so you have to sit for a long time to fix it. But with microservices and all, it's very easy, and you can save a lot of time. Okay, coming back to our this thing, so monolithic and this one, I'll come again with the architecture when we are learning SQL. Okay, so I just want to appraise here with the concepts. Okay, you should be aware of it. What is monolithic? See, these are all concepts. Okay, so whatever the tool sets or whatever the solution you are gonna build, right? You will design. Say for example, I'll give you an example. Is you want to build. Uh, I'll give you one task. Is you want to build uh, online shopping. Okay, online shopping site. Okay, just like Amazon. Okay, the first thing what you will do is, first you need a landing page. Okay, then next you need a login page. Okay. And what does that login page does? You have to integrate with Google, Gmail, right? Apple account, all these things, or create a new account, right? And then after logging in, what you have to do, you have to showcase your product under categories. Okay, what is that called? Catalogs. Okay, next what you'll do after catalogs, if I add 2 3 items in my cart, what is the next option? Next option is billing. Okay, how same thing, see, you have to relate this with your offline experience. Okay, shopping experience. You go to some mall, like a lifestyle or shopper stop. What you do is first you'll go into your section. So first you'll enter. Okay, and after entering the store, you'll go to gen section, boy section, or kid section. Okay, you choose your product, and then you'll go to the billing section, and then from you will test it. Okay, but here in online you don't have that option to test. I mean, you cannot do that, right? Because we don't have the option to do that online. So in offline you have only one advantage of you can test the size and all that cloth. Okay, and then what you'll do is you'll directly head to your billing section. You pay, you come out, you take it in, you pack it, and you come out, right? Same experience here. Catalog is nothing but your browsing experience. Okay, and after browsing, what is the next one? Next one is your billing. Okay, after billing is done, what the online guys does is feedback, right? So you have to build all these separate modules. Okay, and then you have to integrate with this this this. Okay, if for example my feedback system has thrown some error, but it will not affect my billing catalog, it will still go on. Okay, so that is where this concept has come: monolithic versus uh, microservices. Okay, that is very important, guys. Okay, you can get nice YouTube videos. I'll see. I went through some videos long back. I'll see if it is in my favorites. I'll share it across. Okay, weekend at your leisure. Please go through it. Okay, so these are just a concept you should know. Okay, and the same example I give you is apartment, right? You have one block apartment and you are doing some modification, or due to some issues, there are some issues that were recently noticed, and to fix that you have to turn off the entire electric supply for everybody. But in blocks, what happens is, in blocks, each block has their own control, right? So that these are all real-time examples, guy. Okay, these are all coming from real time only. Whatever we do in real time, these are converted into these concepts, and whatever they are building, they'll build so that they'll see the reliability and other factors they will check. Okay, now we'll spend some time on classes and objects. Okay, now what is a class? Okay, what is a class and what is the object? Okay, so in Python, in Python class, a class is a collection of object. Okay, in simple term I can say, 1 minute, I'll put h2. Okay, so I'll write down the first point. A class is a collection of objects. I'll give you one example to help you understand. Okay, and also we can say classes are blueprints for creating a object. Okay, and a class also defines and helps you define what attributes and methods that are created objects. Okay, you can have, if you see yesterday function we created, okay, function are two types. Okay, one is inbuilt, user defined. Same thing, modules also we have seen. Module also you can create your own modules, right? Yesterday we have seen, right? And how do you integrate that with your program? Okay, so a class also defines a set of attributes, attributes and methods. Okay, so I'll give you some classic examples, and then it will help you understand. Okay, so for example, uh, okay, I'll create a class called dog. Okay, class called dog. Okay, now when we say dog, okay, it defines a class named dog. Okay, and what are the features that you can think about a dog? Okay, so a dog has a name, age,
Carnivorous eats meat.
height.
Hello? It eats meat, basically carnivorous.
Yes, needs. These are all the attributes of a dog, of a class. Okay, now I have different types of dogs. Okay, so say for example, I have golden retriever, golden retriever. Okay, I have another dog,
German Shepherd.
German. Okay, okay. Now here, whatever the class I created dog, these two falls under the same. Okay, and all these two objects. Now these are called objects. Objects. Okay, this one is also objects. Okay, now these are two objects, and this two objects will have some attributes. Okay, what are those? You can pick it up from this. Okay, name, age, height, color. Okay, color of the skin. Okay, you can write a lot of things will come into your mind. Okay, color, color, and even the barking styles are different from dog to dog, right? So you can add all those attributes that you can think of. Okay, other classical example I can say is vehicle. Okay, a car. Okay, car, you can have a different car, and then these are called the objects. Okay, say for example, Maruti, then we have Toyota, then we have Hyundai, Honda, right? These are all object, and all these objects will have some attributes and methods. Okay, now when I say about car, what are the attributes that you can think of? Okay, you can open door, close door. Okay, then you will start ignition. Okay, all car has the same thing. Okay, and then apply gear. Okay, if it is automatic, clutch and brake, that's it. Okay, you turn on, and you put in auto mode, and then you will apply clutch. It will move your vehicle. Okay, when you want to apply, when there is a object, what you do, you will apply a brake. But whereas in manual transmission, you have to have a control on your gear, right? You put in neutral and then you will apply uh, a brake. So all features are same. So this class and object should be clear. Okay, whenever you are working on any project, right, you have to classify your project. For example, uh, I can give is uh, employee onboarding. Okay, so this is my project. Now, what is the class here? You can say employee onboarding itself. Okay. Now, that's my class. Okay, employee onboarding. Okay. Now, what are the objects that I can think of? Okay.
Maybe hiring. Can hiring be the class? Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, hiring also you can say. Good one.
In hiring is what we have employee boarding as one of the aspect.
Correct. Hiring, employee onboarding, and then what are the objects that you can think of? Okay. Objects are training.
Domain, maybe.
Yes. Domain training, and then what else? What do you do when a person is onboarded? So you will be uh,
Access,
access to login. Okay, accessories. I mean, you can call this as laptop,
assets,
assets,
assets.
assets. Okay, and then assignment. Okay, so these are all called objects. Okay, and all these objects will have a set of attributes and methods. Okay, in training, what you do is you log into the site. Okay, and then you will train yourself on your specific domain. Okay, and your domain, like for example, if your domain is, if you are part of developer persona, or if you are part of support persona, or PMO persona, or HR, or executive. Okay, so what you do is, based on that, you will be assigned with a task that you have to do. Okay, so everything whatever we do, right, class and objects will come into picture. Okay, and also this, I'm telling you, we do this day in day out. Okay, so it is very easy, guys. I mean, if you spend some time, right, I mean, this coding, reading and all will be like a cakewalk for you guys. Okay, so it's not tough. Only you have to understand the fundamental basics, then you can easily learn all these concepts. Okay, now another thing that I want to say is attribute and methods, right? So attributes is also called a data members. Okay, or for example, uh, in my previous example I gave you this one, right? Amazon login page. Okay, now in login page, okay, I want to these are variables. Okay, uh, for example, I can give you object example is when you build a house based on the architectural plan. Okay, that house is a object, and each object has its own unique set of attributes, values. Okay, for example, okay, a car class might have attributes like color, make, and model. Okay, now what is method? Okay, now method is something, you will see some action. Okay, validation. Okay, uh, I'll take a same example of a car. A car class might have methods like start, stop, accelerate. Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, think about anything that is happening around wherever you see, and you have to relate with these concepts. Okay, so if this fundamental is clear, I'm telling you, the whatever you're gonna learn next, right, it will be very easy. So you have to relate all your things there and you have to start coding.
So
Okay.
Suren, in simple terms, can we call the objects to be types and attributes to be basically features?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is what? Polymorphism. Okay. Okay. Now let's understand about polymorphism. Okay. These are the five attributes, okay, of OOPS concept. Six, sorry. Classes, objects, polymorphism, inheritance, abstract, encapsulation, and iterators. Okay. Okay. So let's understand about polymorphism. Okay, what does polymorphism means? Okay, so I mean, in simple English term, it literally means many forms. Okay, many forms. One, I'll change it to markdown. Okay, next one, it means many forms. Okay, in OOPS concept, in OOPS it refers to the ability of an object to take on many forms. Okay, this means when you can define one interface and have multiple implementation. Okay, for example, simple example I can give you a calculator. Okay, a calculator class might have multiple methods: add, subtract. Shown you, right? You can do integer, you can get you can add another three integers, four integers, you can add more, right? So polymorphism is nothing but whenever you have some scenario, okay, it means many forms. Okay, you cannot limit with one. uh 1 minute, let me think of one classic example. I think I have given example. One should be, no, I have not added here. uh mhm. Many forms. Okay. uh okay, that's fine. I'll, if I recall, I'll explain that. Okay, so there was one good example. uh Anyway, okay. So in Python polymorphism, yeah, what does it do? Okay, it allows function functions and, sorry, function or methods, function or methods to behave differently based on the object. Okay, don't get confused. I'll explain this. Based on the object or data type that you are working with. Okay, 1 minute. I should have one code. 1 minute. Okay, so I have a class called animal. Okay, and def stands for define function. I have something called sound. Okay, so different animal has a different sound. You agree with that? A cat has a different sound. Okay, it sounds different. And a dog, it barks, right? And it's meows. Okay, now you see here. Okay, and this is a print statement. Okay, don't get confused. What is this? Okay, so I'm creating a class called dog. Under that dog, I'm using something called define function. Under class you will have function and methods. Okay, or methods. Okay, now what is that method? So right now we have defined one thing. It's just a print statement, simple we are doing. Okay, nothing else. Okay, simply we are just taking this uh, sound and we are printing. Actually in real time, the example that I gave you about the car, apply brake, change gear, start, stop, and all those things, you can write the different functions. Okay, now if you see here, in animal, we have something called sound, a function. Here also in class dog, I have the same name. In cat class, I have, see, because if you see animal, dog, cat, all these three species we see, they have different sound. Okay, and we are using the same name, one, two, three. Okay, so you see here, it means many forms. Okay, I'm trying to explain this and this in a with an example. Okay, I'll just run this. Okay, now you see here when I run this, okay, what it is doing is I'm invoking three functions here. Okay, one is dog, cat function, and animal. Okay, and I'm printing the sound of each. Okay, so someone says, see, you see, bark, meow, and some generic, whatever the message we have pointed for any animal, generic animal sound. Okay, now you see here what is happening is polymorphism is the same function. Okay, has many forms, this. Okay, and it allows functions or methods. What is this? Whenever you see any two bracket, it's called function. Okay, and def stands for define function. Okay, so this is a function for animal, a sound. This is for cat class, and this is for general. Okay, and this is the simple example. Okay, simple example. Now I can give you simple explanation is each class has a sound method. Okay, so this is called sound method. Okay, now if I want to animal dot, see, I have a sound function. Okay, if I type cat dot c capital cat dot, okay, you see under cat. Okay, what is the function I'm seeing? You can type dot and press the tab. Sound functions. It's simple. I'm just invoking this. Okay. Accessing required self. Okay. I have to put a self here. Self is not defined. I have to change it with animal dot sounds only. Okay. But if you see here, this simple example, polymorphism, like the definition says many forms, it allows function and method. These are all called methods. Okay. So you can invoke the methods and you can use differently. That is what the explanation talks about. Okay. Now inheritance. Okay. Next one is inheritance. Okay. This one also inheritance. Okay. Now, what is inheritance? In simple form, I'll give the simple definition. Inheritance is when a class, okay, inherits property and behavior methods from another class. Okay, I gave you this example. Inheritance is something when a class, I'll write it in capital, class inherits properties and behaviors. Behaviors, okay. Behaviors is nothing but and properties and methods also you can write methods from another class. Now I'll give you one example. Okay, example is car, vehicle. Okay, so for example, I have a class vehicle. Okay, class. Okay, class vehicle. Okay, this is how you're gonna define your class called vehicle. Okay, now what you have to define another thing is what are the uh, uh, in vehicles, what are the properties that you can think of? Start, stop, and all, right? So first we'll write a function called df define. I can write, sorry, init. Okay, init is the short form of initialization. Okay, you can write start also, but this one is also option is there. Okay, this is two underscore init. Okay, self comma name. Okay, this is my function. This is the syntax function, and here I can write self dot name equals name. Okay, don't worry about the code. Okay, this is just for explanation. I can say define move. Okay, so first function is moving. Okay, first is start vehicle. This is the first function. Start initialization is nothing but start. Okay, and second one is define move. Okay, and then here I can write self. Okay, and then I can print here uh, moving. Okay, for moving just a simple I'll write moving. Okay, now next is I have a, now you see a difference here. Okay, where I am going to, I have a class called bike. Okay, now yesterday I gave you the example between uh, class vehicle and vehicles. Different cars are there, you have different objects. Okay, different methods that it will you can write in your this thing, right? Class bike. Okay, now here what I am doing is, see, in car also initialization is there. You have to put a key and you have to start. So what I'm doing is I am inheriting one of the features from the previous one, which is called vehicle. 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 This one. Vehicle. Vehicle. Okay. So I am inheriting one of the property from here because start and move are common in bikes and cars. Okay. Now, what is different here in bike? I can say define uh, ring underscore bell. Okay, horn, something horn. Okay, you can give any name, guys. I'm just writing for understanding purpose. Okay, and I'll pass on the property of self. Self means okay, and then I'll print some message here. I'll say ring, okay, or beep beep. Okay, some message. Now I'll create an object of a bike. Okay, after whenever you create a class, you have to create an object. Okay, so I'll put a hash. Where is hash? Create an object. Okay, I'll say my underscore bike equals. Okay, now uh, what is the class name here? Bike. So it is, I'll put it capital. Okay, whenever you define anything, right, like we name and all, first letter is capital, right? That make a habit of it. Okay, so that it will be easy for to make some consistency. Okay, I'll say bike. Okay, I have a Hero Honda or a Hero bike. Okay, Hero bike, Pulsar or some bike, Hero or Yamaha, whatever you want to write, you can write. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my underscore bike, then dot move. Okay, move is a function here. Move is a function, and then I can write another one is my underscore by dot this one, this function ring underscore bell. Okay, uh unindented. Okay, vehicle spelling mistake is there. Vehicle does not match any outer indentation. 1 minute, let me see if there is. See, whenever you get any indent, right, don't worry about your code. Your code is correct. Only space here and there you have to adjust. Okay, this is the format that it follows. Okay, so this is the format. This is the format. Okay, so one tab, two tab space and all. You have to just adjust here and there and see. Okay, now you see for there is a class called vehicle. Okay, and it has two properties. One is initialization, means nothing but the self is nothing but self start. Okay, and the other one is move. After start you are moving. Okay, now I have another class called bike. Okay, in bike, I am using the features of vehicle, inheriting. Okay, inheriting the features of initialization and move because the same properties are there in my bike as well. So how do you define? You have to define in the bracket. Okay, defining ring. So here I am taking a specific. I'm going to use these two. Plus I have this one. Okay, which is called ring bell. Okay, so I can see something here like instead of ring you can write beep beep. Okay. Okay, so this is how you're gonna write your class and all those things. Okay, clear guys? Inheritance is nothing but you are taking a feature. Even if you see, I mean the grandchild, okay, grandchildren, definitely you'll see there will be some features inherited from their grandfather or grandmother, right? So same concepts was taken from there, okay, in real time. Okay, so I'll take another one, abstraction. Okay, so what is abstraction? So abstraction is a hiding something internal details and showing only the necessary functionality. Simple. I gave you the example of login ID. Okay, when you log into Amazon, you punch your email address or mobile number and the password, right? But behind the scenes, what is happening? You don't know, right? You don't know what is getting validated. Okay, so that is called abstraction. These are all the concepts in OOPS, object oriented programming. So these concepts are applied whatever the language that you're gonna learn. Okay, like C++, .NET, Java, then Golang. Okay, Golang is a scripting language from Google. Okay, any language you take, Node.js, concepts are same, but here and there the naming convention you will see a different. Okay, and the code and syntax will differ from programming to programming. In Python, I'm telling you it's very easy, guys. Okay, if you spend some time, if the concepts are clear, see everything is available in the Google. Okay, if you have a good search skills, you can get good. Okay, so you can get. I'll share a lot of sites where you can get ready-made code. Only thing you have to change here and there. Say for example, if I'm doing for a house, I'll just copy paste this. I'll just remove this one. Build. I'll say class building. Okay. So in building, what are the things that you can find in building? Okay. So you have a blocks, define blocks, then entrance. Each building or block will have a different entrance to enter. Okay, and then you can create another one function called uh, uh, lift. Okay, so or security is also there, guys, right? Yeah, so a security, after you go through the security, so those are all called functions. Okay, security check, then you enter, then you will head towards your flat entrance. You will enter inside and you'll find the lift. You will use the lift and you'll go to the respective floor, and then you will close the lift and close. Okay, so these are all, when you want to convert all these things in terms of programming, right? You have to think logically. Okay, we'll also do some hands-on next week. Okay, what's the time? Actually 9:33. We are on top of the hour. Okay, so tomorrow we don't have class, guys. Okay, tomorrow is a practice. So I have another inheritance, right? So inherited, abstract, encapsulation, and iterators is there. Okay, so I want to cover this right now. I know it's top of the hour, so we will do one thing. Uh, I'll prepare the sheet at least, and I'll send it uh, on Monday, same timing, 8:30. I will go through the other topics like abstraction, then we have encapsulation, and then iterators. Okay, these are the concepts you should be knowing. Okay, and I'll prepare some notes here, and then probably I'll not share this. Monday only I'll share, because you cannot relate this with whatever we have learned till now. Okay, so after I share this, this is just a concept, guys. Okay, you keep it. This is like a handbook. Okay, like a dictionary for you guys referring. Okay, concepts for interviews and all, they're gonna ask from here only. Okay, for freshers or who is getting into IT domain and all, right, or developer domain. So you can expect questions from these OOPS concept. Okay, they'll ask you what are the explain about OOPS concept in Python. They'll ask you which programming you have hands on. If you say Python, they'll ask you this. Okay, and then you can go one by one. There are six concepts: classes, objects, polymorphism, inheritance, abstract, encapsulation, iterate. These are very simple. Okay, polymorphism is simple. I mean, many forms. Okay, inheritance, you are inheriting some of the property from the other class. Okay, like for example, you have a class called sweet. Okay, and I'll take one function called gulab jamun. Okay, now how does it taste? I'll say sweet, too sweet. Okay, and I'll take another class called um, uh, uh, laddu. Okay, so laddu is little less sweet than gulab jamun. Okay, so you see here, these falls under same class, sweets only. Okay, but when you define a function, this will have a different shape, right? Gulab jamun will have like a oval shape, laddu, like a round, right? So, and kaju katli, again, it will have a different shape. Okay, so these all are, you can create your own class. Okay, as a homework you can do that. Okay, you create a class called sweets. Okay, under sweets you create, and what are the features you can see? Okay, name is there, yes. uh, Shape, yes. Texture, yes. uh, and taste, yes, because a taste is again subjective to person. Some people like too sweet, some people like less sweet, some people doesn't like sweets. Okay, that is subjective to from person to person. Okay, color also. Okay, and then how do you jot it down? You will create a sweet class here. Okay, and all sweets, what are the common features that you find in all sweets? Okay, one is taste, one is texture, right? You can create a function called texture. Okay, and now you will create another class called uh, um, uh, gulab jamun. Okay, in gulab jamun you have two forms. One is dry gulab jamun and one is with sugar syrup, right? So see, if you see now, you can do that. Even you take an example of class, school, or students, right? You find a lot of differences when you practice this um, um, in your free time, right? It will help you understand your concepts clear. Okay, and believe me, when you are writing these programs and all, right, it will be like very easy. I'm telling you, you can relate. Okay, I know. If you're not relate, we have Google, or we have this chat GPT. So learn about prompting also. Okay, prompting is also very important. How do you prompt different questions and get your answers uh, from your this chat GPT or Gemini or Grox or whichever you use, right? So prompting is also very important. But in prompting and all, they'll give you all those things and you will not relate. But when you do all these examples and practice, right, it will make your life very easy. If the concepts are clear, then I'm telling you, right? So if you have a bike versus scooty, okay, so what do you do to start? You first insert the key and then you will press button. What if it is a manual? You will kick, right? A kick rod, and then you will raise to start the machine, right? So you see a difference between scooty, the older generation scooties like Activa and other vehicles that you see on roads, right? So there is a different things are there from this. And how do you get that in coding? You can write class vehicle, then you can create another class called. So in class vehicle, what are the common things that you find? Okay, start, move, stop. You can write one more. Okay, move also, stop also. Okay, change gears. Okay, what if it is a manual? Okay, so you have to think about it, and then accordingly you have to write your code and bring that code to some justice based on this oops concept. And see, if something is failing here, only move is not working here. Okay, for some reason. Okay, for some reason move is not working here. Okay, for example, I have, okay, so define, I'll put just one. Okay, just for an example. Okay, now see, move is not working, so my entire code is down. Okay, now entire code is down. Now again I have to go line by line wherever there is move. Okay, here I have declared move as move one. Okay, okay, I'll go next line where is move. Okay, and then I'll go to here object. Here I have declared as move, and here I have declared as move one. So what I have to do is either I have to change here or here. So what I'll do is I'll change the code here and then compile it again, run. So this is what developer does. Okay, so if your code are broken into pieces, okay, it's easy to identify and fix. That is where we are coming to this microservices. Okay, blocks of code. Okay, blocks of code is nothing but modules. You'll create module 1 for login, module 2 for logout, module 3 for catalog generation, module 5 is for carting. Okay, when you go to Amazon or you add all those things, right? So different parts. If something fails, it will fail only that section, and the rest of the sections will continue to work, so that you'll not see any downtime in the tool. Okay, and even if you see this Netflix, okay, Netflix architecture. Okay, you see here, you read it here. Netflix transitioned from a monolithic architecture to microservices model to achieve scalability and faster innovation. Now, what is this microservices? Each functionality like billing, recommendation, and user management is a separate service. They call it a simple service. Okay, it's nothing but a module. Backend, it's a code, piece of code. Okay, so they give a name of service. Okay, don't get confused. What is this service? Why they are calling service? Nothing. Okay, so different modules. These services are independently deployable and scalable. See, this is called microservices. Even if you are working in your company, right, the developer team, okay, nowadays they whatever the tool set that they build, it is based on the microservices architecture. Okay, service discovery, so you have subsections of this. Okay, these all fall under architecture. Once you go through it, see, same examples he gave. Class is called device. Okay, now class is called open connect. Okay, so he has given ELB stands for elastic load balancer. When you want to maintain some of the services to be available all the time. Okay, ELB stands for elastic load balancer. See, he has written in Python. These are all Python code. Import io.netty bootstrap. These are all Python code. Import command is a class called netty server. Then private int. There is a variable called port. Validation of port, and then it's going next and doing some functionality. If one fails, it will fail only that. It will not fail the entire this thing. Okay, but in car what happens is, if you have a hybrid car, right, and if your petrol is over, okay, now you have another service called battery. So at least with battery you can go to the nearest station and get it fixed, or refill your fuel, and then you can get going from there. Okay, these are all coming from real-time solution, real-time. Uh, okay, so these are name of the application, Kafka. Okay, message broker and all. Don't get all these things when you learn about what is this called, cloud and all. You will get to know all these things. content delivery. Okay, CDN. It's called CDN. Okay. Now what Netflix has done is they have created a CDN. Okay, content delivery network in regions. For example, in India, whatever when you open your Netflix and watch, right, it goes to the nearest point and it picks up the data from there. Okay, what is the data? It could be Mumbai, or it could be Chennai, or it could be Gurgaon, wherever they have deployed their servers. Okay, or I can say storage blocks. Okay, so the content comes from here, not from US. Okay, so that is the design architecture and all. You have a lot of things in the architecture side. Okay, once, so this is the overall architecture. 1 minute, let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, okay, so this is the high level diagram you see. So how user gonna access? Through computer, laptop, mobile phone, or TV. Okay, so it goes to the Netty server. Okay, they name it. See, don't get confused. What is this Netty server? They'll name anything. Okay, Netty server is nothing but it takes the response, it validates your account, and then what it does is it goes to the next section with a catalog. Okay, then you get your catalog displayed on your screen, right? New movies based on your taste. Okay, preferences, it will also pick, it has some AI feature. Okay, based on if you like action movies, right, all the time, or horror, or drama, or love stories, right? If you keep on watching all those movies, right, what it does, based on this, it will pick uh, uh, the recommendation, and it will give you the recommendation on the screen. Hey guys, this is your recommendation based on the previous one, and based on the rating, I have picked up this for your curation. Please go through it, or whenever you get time, you can go through it. Okay, so they have added AI and all these things nowadays. Okay, but this is good to learn all these things whenever you're free, right? Just go type and read all those things. Okay, I know if there are some jargons like resiliency, reusable code. See, all this we have used now. Okay, in function is reusable code. Okay, so all concepts are coming from this basis, but vendor to vendor, right? Like if you see multi-cloud vendors like AWS, Google, and Microsoft, right? So they have different naming convention. They will add something. Okay, they will not use reusable. They'll use something. Okay, name. Okay, naming convention will be something they will add it. So it don't get confused. Okay, if you know what it is doing, just you can remember that in your mind, and then you can uh, understand what it is doing. Okay. Okay, guys. So what we'll do is we will continue with other three concepts that we left on Monday, and then from there we'll also start a new topic on Monday. Okay. Meanwhile, whatever the sheet yesterday I've shared with you, please, please practice. Okay. If you are not able to do, or if you're getting some error, please call me or WhatsApp me. If I'm not picking up, just send me a message. This is the issue, and how to do that. When I get time, I'll definitely respond to your queries on WhatsApp. Okay, in the common chat also you can do, or one-on-one also you can do. It's up to you. I don't mind. Okay. Chalo guys, we will close this top of the hour, right? Tomorrow we don't have class, so Monday to Thursday only we have classes. So